floor, and they had laughed hysterically every time the van went round a corner and they were sent flying into each other. It already seems a lifetime ago. "No, I'm not leaving," she says, shaking her head. "Don't you care what you've done?" Before he can answer, she feels the whisper of warm breath on the back of her neck and hears Ross's voice in her ear. "Do as he says," he mutters. "Don't get yourself hurt." Ross had boasted earlier that he knew Niall better than anyone, and his warning is enough to make her clamber into the back of the van. She's wearing cut-off denim shorts, and the metal floor is freezing against her bare legs as she sits down. Niall gestures for Ross and Kelvin to climb in beside her, then slams the door shut on them. The noise makes her flinch. As Niall starts the engine, she tries to catch Ross's eye, but he won't look at her. "We've got to stop him! Just shut the fuck up!" he whispers, casting a fearful glance towards the front of the van, where Niall is revving the engine. "Give him a minute and he'll calm down. Then we'll go back." The speed at which the van pulls away sends her flying sideways, and her right temple catches on the wheel arch. She tries to pull herself upright, but they swing first to the left, then to the right, accelerating with every turn, tossing them around like boys at sea. "Slow down!" she screams, certain she'll throw up. Ross pitches across the van and lands heavily on her legs. He too yells at Niall to slow down, but the response from the driver's seat is to go even faster. She's crying uncontrollably now. She wants to go home. They should never have accepted Niall's invitation to meet for drinks, much less agreed to go for the drive with him once they were all tanked up. But he had been so persuasive and charming, right up until the point he snapped. They hit a straight bit of road, giving Ross the chance to climb off her and help her sit up. There is no partition between the front and back, so she reaches forward and grabs Niall's shoulder over the top of his seat, clawing at his black t-shirt with her fingernails. "Stop the van!" she shouts hoarsely. As he shrugs her hand off, Niall yanks the steering wheel to the right. The van veers across the road, and blinding yellow light suddenly illuminates the windscreen. She falls backwards, dazzled. A second later, the high-pitched squeal of tyres burning against tarmac fills the van, immediately followed by an almighty bang. The impact is violent and crushing, and the next thing she knows, their vehicle is rolling over and over. Pain slams through her body as she bounces off the ceiling and off the sides, and within seconds she loses track of which way is up. Her face crunches into metal, and she screams in agony as she's blinded by blood pouring down her forehead. Somewhere nearby, Kelvin is screaming too. Then just as suddenly, the rolling stops. She lands awkwardly and heavily, the bones in her lower legs splintering as easily as glass. She tries to cry out, but shock has robbed her of speech. The pain is unlike anything she has ever experienced. Her body feels like it's been ripped in two. She shakily wipes the blood from her eyes and tries to stay calm, but it hurts so much to breathe, and her vision is blurring around the edges. As the blackness claims her sight, she manages to find her voice one last time. It is small, pitiful, barely a whisper. It doesn't sound like her anymore. "We have to go back." Chapter 1. November, present day. The carpet in the sitting room was a mishmash of brown, red, orange and purple swirls, a relic from a decade when taste was dubious at best. Years of footfall had worn it away in places, and even though her ankle boots were shod in protective blue plastic and she was keeping to the metal plates of the common approach path laid down by forensics, Detective Constable Maggie Neville was still mindful to avoid the frayed white patches as she crossed the room. The rustle of her temporary footwear alerted the two men already there to her arrival. One of them, Paul, was from the Crime Scene Investigation Unit, and he was crouched on all fours, peering into the gap between the bottom of the high-legged...